Welcome back, 0K fans! And Orfelius is now returned from their break, so we are going to be starting the finals! The finals is finally beginning.
The final of Horus.
And this is actually the last tournament of the year. So this is the finals, the finals of 2014.
Yes.
Because that's actually an important thing. Yep. We started this actually in January, just sort of on a whim. I think it was Lowry or the Sponge that started 1v1 tournament, and then someone else wanted to do 2v2. I think it was actually Anarchid with the Sponge started 1v1, and then Lowry did 2v2. And it kind of jumped back and forth, and that's been what we're doing since January. But yeah, it's been a thing for 2014. And it's been working out really well, I think. It's been, I mean, some tournaments better than others. This is one of the less well-attended tournaments, gotta say. But still, overall, it's been working out decently well. It's
because we have 16 players, right? Yeah.
Well, not quite. It's, in terms of the actual number of players, it's a bit closer to 12. But still pretty good. Okay, well, I'm not sure why this is not... Okay, well, we're still waiting a bit. Skasi and Orfelius are still kind of, I guess, tag teaming, going on break. I'm not sure exactly, but they should be here right now. Should be all good. Not sure exactly what's taking so long. But yeah, so this tournament idea has been working out decently well. I'm glad it has. I'll probably do some changes for next year, I'm guessing. Apparently, the kudos rewards are no longer going to be a thing. I'm not totally sure. And I'm thinking that it might be a good idea to have double elimination, though, frankly, given how few people actually showed up today, I don't know if it'd be worth it, but maybe it'll work.
Yeah, some more strict organization around starting time.
Yes, that's the one thing, is we have generally at least 2 or 3 people who are just no-shows. And it's actually a real pain in the butt. Like, seriously, if you aren't sure, don't sign up. Like, if you're not going to be able to commit to that, just don't sign up in the first place. I know I try to encourage everyone to sign up. And in general, sign up. If you think you're going to, like, just want to play it, sign up. But bear in mind you are making a commitment by doing so. That's just important to keep to that commitment, because it gets annoying. So yeah, this is Eye of Horus. Once again, we are back to old map. Forgot to point out the fact that there was geothermal plants over to kind of a pinwheel fashion around the map. They're decently important. We did see one of them being used in the first game, and that ended up being destroyed by Scythe. So, important thing to have, important thing to bear in mind, important thing to take. Yeah, if no one shows, people can sub. It's not the biggest... basically, show up if you aren't sure and you can sub. But otherwise, don't sign up. Just show up, and if there's room, if other people have decided to no-show, you can sub in instead.
Yep. I was prepared to play today.
Yep.
But it wasn't necessary.
Nope. Into the ditch. These craters are big. Anyway, so I'm just waiting for the players to... We should probably pay a bit more attention to what the players are doing. I'm getting a little bit disconnected from reality at the moment. So it looks like... Okay, Yurga's thinking of going air, and Anarchid is going... Oh no, Anarchid's going air, Yurga's going ground, but... There is going to be air from Yurga or Anarchid. We are going to have an air start. Skasi and Orfelius are communicating on TeamSpeak or Mumble, so we don't know what they're saying.
I could fix that.
You could. This is true.
But I won't.
Okay.
It would be quite easy, actually, to just join their Mumble and loop it into the Skype call.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, if I join their Mumble, it would automatically go on the stream. Anyway. Orfelius going for an air start as well. Skasi has nothing. Well, there we go. Orfelius going for air start. Anarchid going for light vehicles. And Yurga going for air. While heavy tanks from Skasi.
Skasi
Same as last time.
villagers.
This is the same as last time. And Skasi and Orfelius doing exactly the same thing they did against their last opponents. Against Moj and Shino. But now Yurga and Anarchid's going for a completely different strategy. And actually rather, not quite mirrored strategy. Air center and light vehicle east. Actually, both cases, the area I mentioned before that's not often started at is the one being started at. So it looks like very quick darts from Anarchid, as should be expected. And Swift's coming in around from Orfelius, so the fact that it's air versus air will be very quickly known by both players. And Anarchid is going to go for very quick slashers. Wants to play defensive. Wants to play this as a large map.
Yeah, he lost them. Swift. Wow. Yurga lost the Swift, his first one.
That's not
That's
good.
bad.
Yeah, that's not something you want, especially in their own. I mean, in their own territory. That's not as bad, but it's still pretty bad. Orfelius is still ahead, 3-1 at this point. Yurga not building additional Swifts, or no, they just built additional Swift. 3-2. Still, I think Swifts can one-shot each other at that point. Let's see. Like 135.
No damage by the darts. No static defenses by Skasi.
And 3 Swifts can
He relies on the
Swift.
Swifts for his early game defense.
Apparently. Yeah, 3 Swifts can
but
one-shot
he might
another
lose
Swift,
this
so
con now.
It is his what? Or their what?
Welder, con, constructor.
Oh, yeah. That actually... Oh, yeah, they will. That welder's dead. Not much can be done about that. Or, well... Okay, that welder is at Anarchid's mercy. It dies if Anarchid chooses. It lives because Anarchid allows it.
Oh,
this is huge! Early heavy tank factory kill. Not the... I think the air factory would have been a bigger kill, but still, the heavy tank factory is a massive kill. Doesn't matter. Early factory is always a big kill.
Yes.
I don't think this is game, though. Given the size of the map, I think there's room to maneuver. I think there's room for Skasi to build up.
Still has his constructor, he still has his commander.
Yeah,
there is air superiority. They did lose all their units in the process. It's not over. It's not given.
But it is definitely an advantage to Yurga and Anarchid. It's just not as big as it looks, really. An important thing to point out, this is actually not as big of an advantage as it looks. The heavy tank factory is probably going to get rebuilt. It is going to take about a minute or so to rebuild it. So at this point, Anarchid and Yurga do have an extra minute. That's a decent amount of time, but they don't have air control. Getting ground control is a little bit tricky. They're going heavy slasher. Like I said, Anarchid's still going for slasher. Like they're going infinite slasher. Or not infinite, just one. But yeah, they're going for slashers. Yurga is going for... Well... Yurga's trying to get air control by way of
2
Hawks.
slashers now. 5 Swifts from Yurga.
And they're going to come in, apparently, so attempt to contest air control.
Yeah, that's a good call by Skasi to repair that welder. I think he could use it to attack the slashers. Commander and welder against 3 slashers.
Ooh, that is tricky. Those slashers really pulled in quick. Yeah, 4 slashers now. The 5th one's upcoming. And Skasi switched over to Cloaky Factory, gonna get Zeus. While more Wolverines coming from Anarchid. Anarchid's been doing this... I think it was in the first game, the intersection game. They also went for... I think it was Anarchid that went for this. I don't think it was Yurga that went for light vehicles and then went for a bunch of artillery pieces, like slashers and Wolverines. I really like that. And Orfelius is taking a decent amount of damage, but not that much, and still taking air control.
Here come the Zeus.
Yeah, those Zeus are going to be able to tear apart everything. Those lashes have no chance. Forced retreat, one of them dies for free. You're going to try to skirm it out as best they can, though. But still, that is forcing those slashers back. And Orfelius maintains some air control. So Yurga and Anarchid's advantage still there, still largely economic. Like, they're still on the front foot. But they're not quite able to attack as cleanly as they would like.
Skasi is going to level 2 with his commander. The level 1 was good. I'm not sure about level 2.
I don't think so. Not with the given the economic disadvantage. I disagree with this. Let's see.
I think he could have
yeah,
used...
that's not much. Light particle beam and armor and slight speed increase. Level 1 was fine.
Wolverine skirmisher.
Yep. On top of all those slashers. And a Cloaky bot switch for Yurga is coming up, as well as Crane's coming in for Yurga on top of, well, Crane and then more Swifts afterwards. But good, getting Cranes. I mentioned that before, that was a big thing we were kind of pointing out earlier, and Yurga is not making the same mistake. Anarchid, on the other hand, actually is. Oh no, Anarchid is. Yep. Anarchid is like one Mason, that's about it.
Yeah, they lack the economy now. They're really at half of Skasi's team.
No,
or I mean
they're
Yurga's
double.
team.
Yeah, Skasi and Orfelius are half of Yurga and Anarchid. Like, despite the fact that Anarchid doesn't have a lot of constructors, they are still building up a huge amount of economy. They're still very healthy. They just happen to have only 2 Masons. But that's apparently enough. That's apparently working out just fine. And they're taking the entire center, or at least they're itching to take the entire center. They're not going to succeed in doing so. They're probably going to take, like, this metal extractor is dead. This one here is probably dead. The rest of these, I mean, Anarchid's trying to build up a bunch of Lotuses before continuing, but they've already lost one of their metal extractors. And the Zeus forcing the slashers back, killing more slashers. The Wolverine's trying their best, and it looks like the Dominatrix...
Oh, here's the cap car.
It's gonna get itself killed. The Dominatrix is running too close with no support. Nothing is gonna be taking those Zeus shots. Or hammer shots. Not that the hammer can hit, but still. Nothing is tanking that, but still doesn't matter. Zeus getting killed. Free kill for Anarchid. And the Swifts come in to finish off the Dominatrix because we don't want that to live. At the same time, in the southwest.
No, we do not.
In the southwest, Skasi coming in with a short attack on Yurga, and that's not amounting to much.
Now it's time to take out the Wolverines, who seem to die pretty quickly to Swifts. There's an interesting position here made by Orfelius. Offensive expanding. Hey, where did the second Dominatrix come from?
Oh, that was coming in already. It was being built after the first one. It was already on its way. They can't really get anything at this point, and yeah, I see what you mean. Orfelius is really pushing forward with this. Taking over the metal extractors, and Anarchid's still building up those Lotuses, which probably won't amount to anything.
The Mexes in the top right corner.
Oh yeah, Anarchid is going for that. Enemy Mexes. I mean, why not? Skasi and Orfelius haven't even taken that, surprisingly enough. While Yurga and Anarchid have taken their own. They've taken their corresponding Mexes quite strongly. Like, Orfelius and Skasi are trying to hit the center, trying to cut that out. They're trying to cut that off and then work backwards, but they pushed forward way too far. They didn't have the influence to pull back and then consolidate. So they're getting cut very heavily by Anarchid. And they kind of deserve that. Well, it looks like Skasi going for, once again, just like last game, more size. Unfortunately, unlike last game, there are Wolverines in the field, and that makes size much, much harder to use. Thanks to Wolverine mines. Actually, one of the size almost gets cap card, but the cap card is going to go down to Swifts, so that's not as big of a deal. Oh, would have gone down to Swifts if it weren't for the fact that the Swifts decided to leave and allowing it to live with a sliver of its life. Although at this point, just getting rid of the Wolverines is all the Scythes really have as their job, as their duty, as their mission in life. Make sure they can actually run around cloaked. All 6 of them. Wow, that's a lot of them. 5 so far.
Oh, Kepkar OP.
Oh, and there's one of the Swifts out. Although that, yeah, the Dominatrix doesn't really do too much. But another Dominatrix coming in. More Dommies.
Yeah, it's a bit of a waste. They're not doing that much.
No, but Dante is coming in behind this. 10-minute Dante.
Yeah, why not?
That's quite a surprise. Well, it's not usual. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not usual. It's a good surprise.
They have such a massive economy.
Yeah, it's a great
no,
surprise.
I think it would be best to spam Zeus is like crazy now.
I expect that too, but I think that the Dante is... I think it has the range to deal with that. I'm not totally sure.
No, it will take a while to get into a fight.
Yeah.
But they need to take care of that position in the top right.
Oh, that's going to be very difficult to get rid of. And the size can sort of help to get rid of the metal extractors directly, but they aren't doing so. I don't know what... Skasi, where is Skasi planning to harass? Are they trying to harass the center? I don't get that. I don't know. That's just odd.
Will the Zeus... 3 Zeuses and a warrior? Oh, come on, Commander, 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 what are you doing? Orfelius!
Well,
that was a bit anticlimactic.
Yeah, there's so much for that offensive expansion. Like, that's now completely cut off, undefendable, and these Zeus will probably tear it apart with impunity. Scorchers are... Well, the Scorchers will defend decently well, but even then, this area is basically dead. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of priority. When Yurga and Anarchid decides worth it. And yet, there it is. I mean, it's been up for a little while, but yes, it is marching. It is getting near, and it's about to destroy that aggressive expansion, but the side is coming around the other side, and it doesn't even matter. Skasi and Orfelius already throwing the towel. They don't even see the Dante yet, or they just see the Dante. They just barely see it. Don't even want to bother, although it looks like Orfelius wants to surrender. Skasi is not so underconfident. Skasi thinks they have a chance.
Skasi.
Nope, never mind. Nope, I was wrong. Skasi is going to concede game 1, and we're going to move on to game 2. Which will be map choice of Skasi and Orfelius.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, that was economy. That was textbook economy. There's not much more to be said about that. Like, that's all it was.
You just take every mix you can get?
Because the northeast mexes weren't even taken by Skasi and Orfelius. That was a big oversight. I'm frankly surprised that even happened.
No, they didn't have the units.
I guess it's just still... Yeah.
Nice 1-2 punch with the Scorches and the Slashers.
Oh, Orfelius is trying to play weird. That might not be the best idea. Skasi is a skilled player. Like, Orfelius playing weird might work, but it's tricky, especially in a 2v2 situation. Especially in a map that doesn't really support playing weird especially well. It sort of supports it, but not especially well. Okay, anything kills a brawler. Icons is pointing out that Rocco's can kill a brawler. Yeah, anything that can, like... That's not saying much. Brawlers are massive and move fairly slowly. Before their range buff that caused them to get even out of the way of gremlins, anything killed brawlers. Everything killed brawlers. Their powers came from the fact that they killed everything else faster. Okay, so we're waiting on Orfelius and Skasi to pick their next map. Probably something smaller that they think will give them an advantage, or something they can do crazy stuff on. They need to do something very different, very unusual. But I don't know. Anyway, we are still waiting on them to choose the map. I'm just thinking, what kind of maps would Orfelius and Skasi want? Red Comet wouldn't work. That's been done, and that wouldn't work in 2v2 as well. I guess something like... maybe Ravaged. I don't know if they're going to go for that. Or... Wanderlust, maybe. That'd be a weird one to use, but it could work.
I'd give these teams equal chances on any map.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
So I'll just go on short intermission until the map is chosen, and then we'll come back when that's done. Stay tuned. Oh, never mind. Green Comet. Well, that is a map one does not see very often. It's actually about a slight smaller map than Red Comet, but the same general shape. A bit different in terms of the way that resources are spread out, and actually I think a bit more resources than you have in Red Comet. Okay, so we're starting the game, and we're gonna. So I could just show off Green Comet because Green Comet is not a map I've ever shown before. I have never, ever shown this map on this stream before. First time. I don't think I've ever seen this map. I think I might have seen this map, but I've never shown it. Oops. So this map. Well, there are trees. That's one difference. Trees, grass, slightly better ground texture. Okay, there's also... So this is less symmetric than Red Comet. Like, Red Comet is perfectly symmetric. This does not have that symmetry to it. It's pretty much just a cutout of Comet Catcher put sideways. That's about it. Whereas... And so, starting out... It's like... This center area is kind of the strongest. The northwest would also be fairly strong. The southeast would be much harder to defend, though at the same time, unlike Red, it looks like there's more there. Like Red Comet, there's only a couple melee striders in the equivalent spot. Here it's more. Now, on the other hand, the east side, anywhere is basically a good choice because it's about equally defendable. This area is a bit more defendable in the northeast than the south. But I'm really not sure where players go. So, Floris, are you familiar with this map?
Yep.
Okay, where would players typically go? Where would they typically start?
In the cluster of 3 maxes.
Yeah, but which one? Like the north, the south, the center?
Middle and top or middle and bottom. Doesn't really matter.
Okay. Doesn't make a difference for west or east, even though west has...
I take, for the left side, I take top and center.
Okay, that's what I figured. And we are seeing that. We're seeing as well Light Vehicle Factory, and once again, this is big. Yeah, for scale, this is Light Vehicle Factory. And
although it looks like Comet Catcher, it has far less metal.
Yeah, but it's far more metal than Red Comet. Right, so compared to this is.
I think it's the density is a little bit lower actually.
Maybe. There's definitely more metal, though.
Yeah, the map is bigger, but the density is smaller.
Is that actually bigger? I thought Red Comet was about like 18 by 12 or something. I'll look that up. Anyway. Yeah, this is more like 16 by 12.
There we go. Vehicles, things, vehicles, air.
Ah, there we go. Perfect.
The thing is, the first 3 metal spots on this map are pretty far apart.
Yeah, that's the thing I didn't quite notice. Is like, oh, there's a cluster of 3. And
yeah, cluster, quote unquote.
They're quite a ways from each other, but they're also quite valuable individually. Especially the center one.
Yes.
Or at least the center one to the east. The west, the center one to the east, it's not. It's the southeast. The far southeast one, that's the one that's most valuable. Interesting. Yeah, this map is 16 by 12. I just don't see how that is this big. Oh, Red Comet's 12 by 8. Okay, never mind. Yeah, Red Comet is much smaller. Far, far smaller. Does not compare.
Indeed. Yeah, you shall not shoot at my welder.
The welder will not allow it. The welder
Yes.
says no. And Anarchid, their commander, doing a decent job defending. But at this point, this is just scouting. I don't know why Skasi and Orfelius picked this map. I mean, I guess I kind of do. I guess they figure, you know, they'll just win by large strategies. But Orfelius can't really do anything silly. I guess they have air. They have shenanigans they can do from the air. That's about it. Skasi, on the other hand, Skasi's going to play solid for both of them, and especially given that Skasi's the only land factory, that's saying something. There's a lot they have to get right.
I was thinking this map is ideal for Scorcher rushes.
Yeah, you know, it's
Because you're
flat.
it's so likely you catch the commander or something, the factory.
Yeah, it's flat,
separated
it's
because the
open.
starting maxes are so far apart.
Mm-hmm. And yet we don't see that. Skasi
No.
is going for some opening slashes, but that's not really opening. It's been 2 minutes. Wouldn't call that opening, although there actually... No, there are a few. Never mind. There have been 3 so far. And they're doing a bang-up job. Get rid of a welder. Kodachi does get rid of one of them, though. The other one escapes. Should be able to repair.
Good trade, good trade.
Yeah. Welder... For 1 Scorcher, you get a welder and a metal extractor and a solar collector as well. That's good, and actually at this point there's only 1 welder for Yurga, and it's in the back. The only frontline builder is the commander.
Yeah. And no form of anti-air.
Well,
Only
defender.
defenders. Yeah, I mean mobile. So it's hard to expand.
Yes. That is true. But even then, they're still expanding pretty well. Skasi and Orfelius not quite expanding as efficiently. Orfelius just leaving their commander idle for long periods of long stretches of time. And Skasi is expanding. Skasi does have that sorted out. While Yurga and Anarchid, well, Anarchid going very quickly for an air switch.
Oh, that commander that will get bombed.
And which one?
When he has 3 ravens, or maybe he wants to go immediately. I'm not sure.
Well, there's no real... There's the Kodachi, but the commander's not really vulnerable.
Yes, it is. This one.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, never mind. What am I saying? That's way out in the open. What am I thinking? I thought it was further back. Yeah, that is vulnerable. And there is a defender, but that's not enough. It would need 3.
And there are 3 shadows now.
Oh boy, that looks promising. I think we're gonna see Yurga lose their commander very shortly. Although they are building the 3rd defender, so maybe not. If these Swifts manage to stop the defenders from attacking, use up their missiles, that could do the trick. But very rarely is that so coordinated. However,
Maybe you
Skasi
don't
is
even
kind of
need
helping. Nope.
ravens.
Don't need the Raven for this one. We have the dive. Scorcher dive successful. Yurga's commander is down.
No expansion mirror. I think that's the biggest setback, because now you need to make another con, and it takes long time to
Yeah.
get a position.
At the same time, Orfelius is expanding, or Skasi is expanding. Orfelius is expanding. Like, everyone on the red team is expanding, and the blue team can't expand that quickly. And they have their masons, their welders, but that's not doing a whole lot. They have no, Anarchid doesn't have any builders. Anarchid has some Scorchers, that's about it. And Skasi is winning in the Scorcher count.
Skasi is winning on every count.
Pretty much, and then Orfelius is providing air support when necessary. Although Orfelius is going to want to get some workers here, just to get rid of the excess. There's a lot of excess going on right now. Way too much to be healthy.
Yeah.
A little surprising too, because it should be 20 metal use here, but it's mostly just lack of power, lack of
Orfelius
energy.
shoots fear for his commander as well now. Orfelius commander.
What? Oh, what did they shoot?
No, they were... No, it's okay now.
Okay. And that's...
Just go-
Well, attempted
Could have been
combat,
worse.
sort of, but... Wow, that's a lot of thrown away units. Anarchid
Oh
just
wow.
ditched those. Yeah, one of the Panthers goes down, and the other one looks...
Panthers get beaten by Scorches.
Apparently. I think that was intended, but yeah, that's not something I really saw before much. No one ever really tried.
It's there are like 7 Swifts on top of those
oh yeah, that helps
Panthers
too.
as well.
And that's... well, that half and half. But at this point, Yurga and Anarchid has slightly less map control. Overall, they're still in a pretty good position.
Orfelius has a bit of lag. That's what he always has.
Yeah, it's kind of alternating back and forth between who has more lag. Which is kind of surprising because everyone's within like a couple 100 kilometers of each other. But whatever.
No, but he's on some weird connection.
Oh, okay.
I just got glass fiber. Whee!
Oh, that's cool.
Maybe it's old news for you, but you've had that for a while, I guess.
Well, I think so. I'm not sure. I mean, it's 50 down, 10 up. I don't know if that's necessarily fiber. I think it's still copper when it gets down to my place. It's just very close to the box fiber. We're very close to the very close to the building fiber. Anyway, Skasi coming in with a massive assault. Swift's trying to do what they can. Scorcher's sort of discouraging them, but mostly just getting rid of metal extractors. Getting free shots on metal extractors. Swift's annoying them. Being like... they're just like horse flies. That's all they're doing. They're just taking small bites, but not really doing any real damage. And this leveler that leveler is a threat. But Skasi being very intelligent about this, making sure to avoid leveler range, and barely in some cases, but this one Scorcher is dead. Oh, I think it was trying to dig through the solar collector to destroy it to get out of the way to keep going.
Yeah.
Didn't manage though. Still, Skasi did get the north out. Now if they do the same to the south and just contain that out, then from there they can expand themselves and then of course win. There's still a lot of places that can be taken around the map.
Look at how Skasi is playing. He has units spread out over the entire map. He can see everything.
On top of radar, whereas with the other team, they have some radar coverage, not a whole lot, so it's just they don't really know what's around. And more Swifts coming in here, more Swifts getting rid of Anarchid Swifts. Orfelius is maintaining air control pretty solidly. As has been the case thus far. I mean, Orfelius has been... I mean, okay, admittedly, against Moj they were losing it. But even then, it took a while for them to lose air control in that Eye of Horus game. They are quite good with air.
I hear a dart. Oh, there it is.
You hear correctly. It's a harassing dart.
Yeah, but still, Welder says no.
Yep. Yeah, there's really no way you can beat a welder with a dart. Scorcher maybe, or a few Scorchers, but not a dart.
Yeah. So what's next?
Well, from the looks of it, Skasi seems to be building up a nice Scorcher army. He probably wants to dig through this line of Panthers, destroy all of that. And at the same time, we have a proxy heavy tank faction from Orfelius.
They're about equal economy-wise.
Yeah, but with that heavy tank factory coming from the north, and it looks like... is there expansion to the north? No, there's no expansion. It's just double-checking that there isn't any expansion back from Anarchid Yurga. Like, if they can get rid of the south, that's the one thing. If you get rid of the south, then it's a big deal. But right now, that's not happening.
Oh, there goes another... no, it digs itself. I hate this.
Huh?
When commanders or constructors in general
oh, right. When they dig a hole in the ground.
To me, that's not how it... well, whatever. It's okay.
Very vulnerable to Ravens, though. That's the one thing. Extremely vulnerable to Ravens. And Raven moving back. Swifts, I think they're trying to regroup for another attack. Take another pass at it, but the Crashers are in play, so it's a bit harder to deal with. But even with that, there's still the attack coming in here. Getting rid of a Stardust. Nice target choice. Definitely a good choice of target. And in come Orfelius' Panthers, trying to get rid of these Ravagers, and I don't think it's going to work. They'll get rid of one or two.
No, that's too many Panthers. They can skirmish those Scorches.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Okay, never mind then. In that case, yeah, pretty much unlimited. A little surprised that the Raven is not being used to deal with Anarchid's commander. That's unusual. At least a little bit odd. Now at this point, Anarchid and Orfelius have been fighting a lot, but Yurga has been pretty peacefully just taking territory and converting it to themselves. Yep.
Force of those Panthers in the south.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but those Swifts, they intercept. There are 2 laser turrets, that's nice.
Oh, and another set of Panthers coming in here, which is not gonna, well, she might work out okay. Should get rid of the southwest completely. Not even caring about that, going straight for the main base. Trying to cut it off where it begins.
I like how we can have 3 battles on a 2-player. 2 versus 2.
Yeah, so we have one battle where these scores are trying to get through and break past their opponents. While middle we have lots of Panthers trying to be, they're retreating away from levelers because the levelers do manage to destroy them quickly enough. And then over the west, while over we had an English Civil War. Wait, what do I think? Crap, I got.
Again, take 2.
Okay, we have nothing to do with English Civil War. We had a dead tar coming here. Sorry, my brain skipped a track, and I ended up thinking of a conversation I was having earlier today, and it just, yeah, sorry about that.
Happens to all of us.
Yeah, it's like 5 in the morning, so I might occasionally say something that makes absolutely no sense in the context of what's going on the screen. Don't worry about it. It happens.
Ooh. Anarchid is making a nice pond now.
Yeah, making a really nice spear push here. And also in the north. Oh, the north. Oh. Yeah, that pond, all right, but it doesn't really matter. That big push here.
That's one expensive pond.
But I don't know how that much that matters, because like, this is what matters. The southwest, we have this force here that came in here, cut through, but doesn't really have anywhere to go. Like, they don't have anywhere they can attack. In the north, we have the Swifts. We have Swift versus Swift, which Orfelius is winning. We have a lot of defenders, which Orfelius is winning. And Anarchid's coming in here. They seem to be trying to get around. They seem to be trying to get around all of Skasi's forces. And then go straight from there through the metal extractor around the south side, and then ultimately pop up north, attack the main base.
Skasi's doing the fusion thing.
Fusion thing?
The fusion thing.
Oh yeah, they're building a fusion.
No, not just one. He has 5 now.
Oh, yeah, wow, I missed that. Well, Skasi's been doing that to great effect this entire tournament, so I can't say he should, I shouldn't say they should stop. It's been working. They should continue. Apparently it's working out nicely.
Anarchid failed to rebuild his top right corner.
Yeah, that's something that needs to be dealt with pretty soon. And especially since the commander's right there. It can be pulled up out of the ground. And as it stands, though, Anarchid getting rid of the southwest, so trying to at least keep it equal. If nothing else, keep it equal.
Gunships. Gunships in the center.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Proxy gunship factory with a bunch of rapiers. Rapiers again! Hooray! We should show them on the
That was fun in the first round.
Yeah. No, we just need 2 dozen of these.
It was a killer that used them.
Yeah, we just need 2 dozen of those, and it'll work out beautifully. Be a wonderful thing to watch. However, I don't know if it's going to last. Orfelius is pushing in pretty hard with the Panthers. Skasi is pushing in from all angles with this long line of cars. Although Yurga's doing a decent job of countering that, and Anarchid,
yeah,
they've lost most of their assaults, but they've been still, they had some decent steam, but yeah, they've lost most of the assaults. Still did a fair amount of damage. Got rid of a few metal extractors. Over to the south, we have Skasi still pushing stuff away. And over the center, we had some assaults coming in, but gone. I
find it remarkable that there are 13 crashers. Skasi made mobile vehicle AA, and lots of it.
Yeah, that's about 2 times as much as really is necessary.
Now that might come in handy against those rapiers.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, I forgot about that. What am I thinking? How did I forget about that? Because there's not 24 of them, that's why. But still, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's slow on top of Panther. I mean, it's gonna take a while to get rid of the Reapers.
Oh dear.
Yeah, oh dear, dedicated anti-air coming in. Oh, Orfelius' commander's down. Taken out by Wolverines. That's a surprise. Now, this is where Anarchid can get their commander out of the hole and go and rebuild everything. That's where they should do so. Skasi pushing in with their forces, the Scorchers, and being taken out, actually. The Scorchers being forced back, slowed down, torn apart. No crowd control yet, but not really necessary. And we are up to nearly a dozen Rapiers, and their construction continues unabated. Though, as it stands, as you can see from the terrain, it's just Skasi and Orfelius have a strong hold of the west side of the map, and somewhat strong hold of the north side of the map too, Orfelius has. Anarchid trying to push that back, and actually doing a decent job of doing so, getting rid of the defenders one at a time.
The Panther Ball keeps growing and growing. It's quite funny.
Wow.
Those Ravages and Scorches just don't work.
Panthers. No, they don't work when you're dealing with 24 Panthers. I'm surprised they scaled that well.
3 dozen actually. Oh no, it's 2 dozen. Wait a second.
Yeah. Yeah, dozen is a measure of 12, not of 8. Oh, and that's going to be Rapiers coming in on top of that. This is going to really tear apart Skasi's army. I mean, the Crashers are here, that's handy, but then the Panthers are going to come along and just deal with the Crashers. And the Crashers are at a really bad angle, but the Panthers do not get there in time, thus unable to capitalize on that angle.
I think this is a good moment for slasher spam.
I agree, especially with all the Ravagers coming in, that would make a lot of sense. However, the Panthers are doing fine. Or do you mean for Skasi? The Skasi could slasher spam.
For Skasi.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Against the Panthers,
because
yeah, totally.
They work pretty well against those Panthers. They're pretty fragile and you make sure you hit it. And they also work against the Rapiers.
That's true. But yeah, definitely against the Panthers. That's the bigger one. And at this point, Orfelius is still gaining map control. I mean, sorry, air control. They still have that. That's still not a problem.
Orfelius is failing to win his the fight on his side of the map. What happened to all his land units?
They got picked off. Kind of one by one, but they've been getting picked off throughout. Kind of is annoying, but yeah, they seem to have not really been using their heavy tanks for what they need to be using them for. And Skasi continuing to try to push. Very strong pushes coming in, but every time they come in, they get rebuffed. And this one, I think this might be the last one, though. I think Skasi might push in, but no, Skasi's losing so many units. That's the problem. If Skasi pushed in, pulled back, and then tried to deal with some of these units that chased after their own, that might work. But at this point, Skasi is throwing wave after wave of unit and throwing the units away in the process.
Just thinks if you can't beat them, join them. And he started to make his own Panthers.
Yeah, well, that's probably one of the better options at this point.
His commander survives.
But Kodachis don't scale as well.
Oh.
Yeah, and Anarchid's gotten out of the hole and is now rebuilding everything in the northeast. So Anarchid has that rebuilt. Skasi is still frighteningly powerful, though, thanks to the fusions and thanks to the overdrive they create.
So that makes up for 8 fusions. No, 6 fusions. 2 are of the other team.
Yeah. Wait, they are?
Oh, yeah, there's so much reclaim.
They aren't even connected.
Skasi is kind of neglecting to reclaim.
Yeah, that is not something I would agree with. Skasi and Orfelius have the advantage in units and income. They just can't seem to make that break through.
Indeed.
They can't seem to really capitalize on that. They're stuck in a stalemate.
And a lot of Skasi's army values in those slashers.
Yeah, but
or
those
crashers,
slashers,
what are they? Crashers.
Crashers, not slashers. Slashers would be much more useful. Crashers, on the other hand, not so much. So, how much is in their Crashers? Yeah, 3,000 metal in their Crashers alone. Oh, they have Panthers now, and that's going to be a bit different. That's going to change things up a bit. Even though I still think Kodachis are a much more natural counter to Panthers, and should be considered as such. But Yurga still managing to push through. But at the same time, Orfelius...
Yeah,
Orfelius
just
getting...
don't work.
But look at Orfelius. They're pushing in a great deal of Panthers, cutting into the center.
Look at this wall of reclaimers of Yurga. Skasi needs to do the same. He can't, otherwise he'll die to this.
Yeah, in the center of the map. That's pretty safe too, where that reclaim is happening.
There's a good strike in the center now.
Oh, very
Doomsday
strong.
Machine, are you kidding me?
Well, it's not going to be built up, so it's not the biggest deal. But yes, apparently that's a thing. I don't know.
Don't go for the fusion, you lose to the Panthers.
Oh, and the Panthers get themselves killed.
Go for the nanos.
But still,
nanos.
Yeah, if they go for the... Yeah, they take that out, that's done. If they take out the caretakers, there's really not much more that Yurga and Anarchid can build up in any decent amount of time. I mean, Anarchid's lost almost everything. Yurga has lost pretty much everything but this base. This southeast corner of the map. And that's being destroyed. Yeah, Skasi and Orfelius are going to take this game. There's not much that can be done about this. Valiant effort with the rapiers, but there's so many crashers there on the field. Those, you know, there were enough crashers. There were still a bit too many, but it worked. It definitely worked, and Skasi and Orfelius will be going on to take it and tie it up, from the looks of it.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a little bit too early to call, but it's very likely that's going to be Skasi that will take it. Well, Skasi and Orfelius. And Anarchid still trying to rebuild, but not well.
Nanoland.
Yeah, but this is
Skasi's base.
This looks to be one last ditch effort to try to get out of getting killed. Send in Ravager or send in Panthers. Like, this is the last stand. Yeah, it's probably going to be 5 games. But this looks like a last stand to me. Yurga and Anarchid are basically going to be calling it right here, I think, after these Panthers die. But I don't know. Anarchid's still really pushing hard. Still has the anti-air. Still trying to get rid of everything here. Still trying to leave something open so they can attack directly. And still actually rebuilding over to the northeast. But at this point, Skasi and Orfelius have a much better consolidated position now than they did before.
He is so much Rex in the center. How much reclaim is this? This is like 10k? 9k?
It is about 6k. Or sorry, 7k. Well, let's include the whole center, which is, it is closer to 9k. And Skasi is taking all of it. Yurga and Anarchid can't really get any piece of that pie. They have nothing near, there's no way of keeping it alive. Nothing they can really do other than try to push it around, find a few corners here or there that haven't been taken advantage of, but I seriously doubt there are any left. Seems like this is pretty much it.
This is it. Yes, finally they pushed through.
Yeah,
there was one breakthrough by Orfelius.
Yeah, the attack that went along
energy production for a while, and then Yurga couldn't hold the center anymore.
Aye. Okay, Yurga thinks it's over. And
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. This push from Skasi is the death blow. And Team 2 will resign, so we're going to go on to Game 3 with a tied up series. Skasi and Orfelius take it 1-1.
GG!
That was a little surprising. Kind of grindy, but I expected Anarchid and Yurga to have an easier time. Still, Orfelius and Skasi did win the map they counterpicked, so that's good to see. Anyway, I will have a match for you shortly, so stay tuned.
Yeah, nice game. Nice game.
Okay, one second. Hey, welcome.